forward with the webinar as planned. If you guys have any questions at any point, feel free to pop them into the message box down there at the bottom of that panel. And we'll be getting to your questions either at the end or it's possible I could take some questions along the way. But as you all know, this webinar for VetMatrix clients only is intended to teach you guys a little bit more about how to use social media and video, especially, as a benefit to your business, both online and just on a day-to-day basis. So, my name is John McPartlin. I'll be obviously hosting the webinar here today. You'll have an opportunity to get my contact info at the end here. But the main topics of the webinar, first of all, why it's important for vets to be on social media. And we'll be taking that in a couple different directions, one of which being how it can improve your search results and therefore lead to getting more new clients. And then also with this second bullet here, just how to keep in front and interact with your client base more often. Because keeping your business top of mind is obviously valuable from a couple different perspectives, which we'll get more into. The other realm that we'll be getting into is the video realm, so how to reach thousands of people on a monthly basis in your community with video, how to boost your search engine rankings as a result of optimized video. So in order for the video to have an improvement on the way you rank in those local search results, there is a very specific way in which you have to upload and title that video. So we'll get into the details there. And then essentially turning all of this extra exposure and traffic into some sort of actionable item. So getting people to see your video and getting people to see your website and your Facebook page is really only half the battle. From there, we will obviously want them to either be coming into the office more often if they're a current client, or maybe providing you with more referrals if they're a current client, or if we're talking about new client acquisition, when they do get to that website or when they do see that video, getting them to actually pick up the phone or use your website to request some sort of appointment or consultation. So in a nutshell, that's what we'll be going over here today. First and foremost, this kind of alludes to what I was talking about. A lot of people do not know that social media, also some reviews, that's why you're seeing Yelp in here, that stuff not only gets you really good exposure and interaction, but Google, Bing, Yahoo, all the major search engines look at that activity. They call it social signals. So that would include likes, comments, shares, retweets, reviews. Google, I'm going to use Google as the main example here because they've got most of the market share for search engines, but Google pays attention to all of those metrics and those numbers. This wasn't the case as recently as a year and a half ago, 2 years ago especially, but in the recent past, the importance of these social signals in the algorithm that Google uses has become more and more important. In fact, a lot of people would argue that aside from your website, social signals and getting that activity and interaction is the next most important piece to where you rank within those search results. So it ties in really big. If you're, on one hand, if you're not ranking high in your local area for a search like vet in San Diego, for example, if you're not ranking there now and you wanted to be, the website, which you guys have through us, I can pretty much guarantee you is dialed in from an SEO perspective. A lot of the ways that we're elevating our clients in the search results now is reaching out to these other online entities, such as your social media. So if you're not ranking now and you're looking to improve that ranking, what we're talking about today is going to directly relate. Furthermore, if you are already ranking at the top of your local area for those important keywords that you're looking at, then it's also imperative to keep that ranking and solidify that ranking. So regardless, it is going to be in your best interest to participate in some of the best practices that we're covering here today. Right here, we've got an example of one of our clients in Solomon, Maryland. So we've got a common search here, vet clinic in Solomons, and you can see that these guys rank really well, first off. And we've got highlighted a few key features of why they're ranking there and how they're converting that traffic. So first of all, you can see that these guys have 7 Google reviews. They also have reviews throughout other sources online, such as Yelp. And while those may not show up in this search result, keep in mind that Google is seeing those reviews. That's partially evident right here. More reviews. So they're not physically displaying those reviews, but they're showing that there are reviews throughout other pages on the internet. You don't see Yelp there, but Yelp is another place that they have reviews. You can see right here within the individual search results. Essentially, any of these directories or review sites that link back to your website, Google's going to be looking at them. So while a Google review is the most valuable review that you can get, reviews on other sites also carry a high amount of value in terms of the way that Google views you, and then also in terms of people seeing those reviews and that translating to the way that they perceive your practice or your brand and whether or not they'll come in or not. So all still very relevant. Now you're also seeing here that this client has essentially the screenshot that we took was taken from somebody logged into Google+. And this person is friends with Jonathan Hilliard. And because they did a search for a vet clinic in Solomons, Google realized that essentially, instantaneously, that this person and Jonathan Hilliard were friends. Therefore, it's telling the searcher that you have a friend who's recommended this in particular result. So the way this translates for you guys is that if you have a Google+ presence, and let's use me as an example, say I am a client of yours and I have +1'd you. It's essentially the equivalent of the like button on Google+. So essentially, if I've liked you and one of my friends anytime in the future is doing a search for a vet in the area, this could be next week, this could be feasibly 10 years from now. If one of my friends in the area is doing that search, Google will instantaneously realize that that person has a friend who's recommended a vet in the area, and that also plays into not only where you rank, but it's also highlighted in this search result. So it's likely that you'll rank higher as a result of that person having a friend that recommends you. While that person's looking through the search results, they're also a lot more likely to click on your listing because they see that somebody they know publicly recommends you. So not only are you almost definitely getting that click to your website, but it's also very likely that while that person's looking through your website, they're going to actually pick up the phone and call you, because while they're looking at your site, while they're considering you as their new vet, they know that they've got a friend who has publicly recommended you. So the what we call the conversion, so getting that person to convert into an actionable item for you, the conversion is that much more likely when that person knows someone they know has recommended you. You're also seeing here that when you have that Google+ presence set up and it's connected to your personal page, if you want this to be done, and it's something I'd recommend, because right here you can see that another listing for Solomon's Vet stands out because it's showing a picture of the author of the page. And this is all set up through Nancy's Google+ account, which in this case we've set up for her because she's enrolled in at least our social service. This is also something you guys are free to do on your own, and that's kind of our overall philosophy on everything we're covering here today. Is we can kind of train you and coach you and teach you along the way to doing this stuff on your own. And then we also do, of course, have services where we can provide all of this optimization, social media, video content, which we'll get into in a minute. We can provide all of that for you as well. So it's our philosophy that all of our clients should be participating in these best practices. It's a matter of whether you're doing it on your own and we're helping you, or we can do it for you. So Moving on here, we see some similar exposure and examples and results on Bing, which is the second largest search engine. Bing actually has a partnership with Facebook, so whereas on Google you see more of the Google Plus integration, on Bing you see more of the Facebook integration. Now in both cases, both search engines will be looking at all of your social media. So even though Google doesn't directly interface with Facebook within their search results, they are by all means looking at your Facebook presence and factoring that into where they're going to rank you, especially with Facebook. Facebook at this point is the most popular website in the entire world in terms of time spent on a given site. So you've got about 1 in every 3 minutes spent on the internet is spent on Facebook. So you can, it's a sure bet that Google takes a large look at all the data that they can gather from Facebook. Some other items that you're seeing here, it's always a best practice to work a call to action into your, this is the description that people see within the search results. So not only giving a little tagline about your business and why they should come in, but obviously on the website there's going to be call to action. It's very much in your best interest to start with that call to action right in the search results. So again, this comes back to converting those folks into an actionable item rather than just getting them to the site. So this slide here is just talking in more depth about, essentially we've spent a lot of time talking about the Google benefits to having a social media presence. The other half of the benefits that you have by having this active presence ties into more of your current client base. So getting people to not only see your posts, but like posts that you make, share them, and comment on them is going to not only engage people more with your brand, but it's going to get those individual posts that you're making more exposure. So I believe on this next slide, you can see here that we're sticking with Solomon's as an example here. And this is one of the posts that we made back in June for this clinic. And you can see there's a lot of activity on this post. And this is what we're talking about when we talk about activity and interaction. It's comments, which you're seeing right here. Likes, you had 7 likes on this post. That type of engagement is not only going to be impressive to those search engines. So there's a popular misconception that the search engines just look at the number of likes at the top of your page. It does go beyond that. It essentially they want to look deeper into the statistics to see, okay, not only are people liking you, but they actually do appreciate and engage with the content that you're posting. And that correlates more than anything to those increased search results. The other correlation that we see is that in this example here, we are logged in as the administrator. So if we're managing one of your Facebook pages, for example, we would be an administrator on the page. You would also be an administrator on the page, so you can log in and see these statistics as well. But what we're seeing here is that 166 people saw this post. There is a direct correlation between the number of people that see a post and the number of interactions that you have. On posts that, say, had 1 comment and 1 like, you wouldn't see quite as many people that had seen that post. So essentially what Facebook is doing here is they realize that a post that has lots of activity and interaction is more interesting or engaging or popular, and therefore they're more likely to show it to more people. Not only people that like you, in this case they have 212 likes, those people are all obviously eligible to see this post, but when you get the comments and the likes, it's very possible that the people who have commented and liked your post are also going to start, their friends are also going to start seeing not only these posts, but especially your clinic name. So from a branding perspective and an exposure perspective, there are a lot of benefits to not just throwing up any old post, but doing something that people are actually going to stop and look at or read or respond to. When we're making posts, there's always some sort of visual aid. pictures, videos. We often mix comedy into the posts, sometimes celebrities. We want to get people to stop and actually look at that post, and best case scenario, get them to actually engage with it. So it's very important. And this slide is just breaking down the numbers in a little more detail to show you that with each of these purple spots, you can see that the engagement goes up, and the amount of people seeing those posts goes up significantly. So right here, we're starting to see video come into the fray. So this is a different example, different client of ours, Woodland West Animal Hospital. These guys are actually engaged in our media service, which means that we're also taking care of video production in addition to all of their social media. So once that initial video is completed, there's a lot of promotion for that video. And it's not only going on the website, but it's a key post on your Facebook, your Google+, your Twitter. We can work it into some of your directory listings. We're also making sure that it's posted to all of the major video providers online, which we'll get more into in a minute. But some of the posts that get the most interaction, the most engagement, are those posts where we're putting up the welcome video. And what we're seeing here is that not only are you getting lots of really nice comments and likes, but people are actually sharing this to their own Facebook page. So this 3 shares here, that means there were 3 people that took this post and put it as one of their main posts on their own personal Facebook profiles, meaning that not some of, but all of their friends can see that post and watch that video. So there's a really big correlation between, as I mentioned, that content that you're posting, and especially when you have a personalized video, like the welcome video that we're talking about here. And a welcome video is typically a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. It's basically an introduction to the clinic. You're showing the building, you're showing inside the office, the front desk, the waiting room. The doctor, in most cases, or doctors, are introducing themselves, some of the staff. We like to work in an actual client testimonial. Obviously, the more professional the production is, the better it's going to come across. We work in voiceover in some cases. We'll do music, taking care of all the graphics in terms of putting your phone number in throughout that video, the address, the practice name, so on and so forth. Making sure that people are not only enjoying watching the video, but that video can also turn into, again, that call to action that we keep talking about. And beyond just seeing it on social media and on the website, YouTube is one of the main places that we're going to post it. So, I mean, YouTube is the 3rd most popular website in general, the 2nd most popular search engine. There's more searches done on YouTube than Bing and Yahoo combined. So it's, I mean, from an exposure perspective, it's another great place to get a lot of people seeing the brand name and actually seeing inside the practice and the personality of the clinic. So another piece, just beyond the exposure within the YouTube search engine, is people searching on Google. It's very likely that the video is going to help the way your website ranks, but it's also possible that that actual video comes up as a result for somebody doing a Google search. So it's more common that these videos will pop up on longer, more detailed searches. So for a search like vet in San Diego, I mean, you have no chance of showing up with a video on that page if you don't have video, but it's also more likely that more clinics are going to show up. If I was to do a search for vet cardiology services in San Diego, all of a sudden my search is a lot more specific. And in that case, it's a lot more likely that video content will come up as a main result within those search results. And that's what we're seeing here. When you have a video that comes up in an organic search result, it is very likely that you're getting the click at that point. Because kind of like we talked about with Google+, that result is going to stand out significantly. Not only is there a thumbnail with an image, but people can also see right off the bat that it's a video. And I mean, it's no secret, people like video. They'd much rather see a video than read through text or even just look at pictures. It's a lot more effective means of communication, and Google realizes that. Therefore, the likelihood of these videos showing up in the search results is only becoming higher and more popular. So what we're seeing here is essentially the way that that video is going to pop up in the search results, and the way that that video is going to help your website show up higher in the search results. So it's what I'm talking about is the keywords and the way that we're writing the title and the description. Working in prominent and relevant keywords in that title and in that description is key, because Google needs to know how relevant this video is to either the keywords on your website or the keywords that people are searching for. Now, Google doesn't have the capability to physically watch this video and know the keywords and the content within the video. The computers and the robots that are set up to collect this information are just not complicated enough or advanced enough to physically read that language yet, although we do anticipate that'll happen. For now, the way that they can see that relevancy is through the title and the description. So I see all the time where a clinic will have the title of their video is welcome video, and the description is welcome to our clinic. And when people do that, they're not taking advantage of working those keywords into the title and the description. You want to work your city name, your practice name, keywords such as animal, pet, hospital. If you have specific specialties that you guys really focus on, working those keywords of those specialties into the title and especially the description. Also having a call to action. So if somebody watches this video and they want to learn more about you, they can go to the website. Or if they don't need to learn more about you and they're ready to call, having that phone number in the description is essential. We definitely recommend that it shows up within the video, but the video may be over and they're not seeing a screenshot of the video anymore. So having that phone number in the description in a permanent place is again tying into the call to action and getting people to actually pick up the phone and get in touch with you guys. What we're seeing here is the way that we can essentially guarantee that you're getting thousands of impressions on this video. And it's through a new form of advertising on YouTube called in-stream advertising. So this is essentially when, I'm sure most of you have seen this before, when you go to watch a YouTube video or really any video online, very often you'll be seeing a commercial that runs before the actual video you're watching. And that's what we're seeing an example of here. We clicked on one of the popular dog videos on YouTube, and essentially we have an ad for Academy Vets that pops up before I can watch that video. So this is called in-stream advertising. And as part of our media service that encompasses all of the video components, we'd be getting you in the neighborhood of 5,000 impressions per month on this commercial. And all of those impressions are going to happen locally. So we essentially give YouTube the address of your clinic, and they'll focus all of those impressions as close to that address as possible. So if you're in a densely populated area, you're probably going to be looking at a radius of a few miles. If you're in an area that's not so densely populated, it could be something like a 10-mile radius in order to get all those impressions. But essentially, an impression is when somebody watches at least 5 seconds of that commercial. What we're seeing is that about 45% of those impressions turn into a full view. So a full view of the commercial means that the person's watching the full 15 seconds. And beyond that, the ad is always clickable, so that people can obviously get your your phone number and your website address within the actual video, but we want to make it so that when they click on that ad, they go to your website on a page that we've specifically designed to not only showcase the entire video, so they watch the full 1.5 or 2 minutes at that point, but it's a page that's also designed to, again, convert those folks. So make it really easy for them to call you or request an appointment right from that initial page that they land on. And we're seeing somewhere in the neighborhood of about 100 extra clicks to the website per month coming from these videos. So that's basically free traffic to your website that you didn't have to fight through the search engines to get. So that's a really nice added benefit beyond the fact of all the extra branding that you get that's very geographically focused. So those 5,000 or in that neighborhood impressions per month that you're getting, those are all people that either live or work very close to your office. And that's going to make them very much more aware of your brand. You know, maybe they recognize the sign now when they drive by, or they've already recognized the sign and now they see your ad running, or maybe their friend mentioned that they see you guys as a vet and now they see the ad coming up. So beyond just the direct stats and clicks and data that we can give you, there is a significant amount of branding that comes with these in-stream ads. And that goes a long way. It's a little more difficult to track, but I've had clients that I've talked to that have been engaged in this program that, I mean, on a fairly regular basis will be recognized in town. Like one of my clients was standing in line at Starbucks. Person behind them say, hey, you're so-and-so. I just saw you in a commercial on YouTube. And it's kind of cool, and it turns you into a bit of a local celebrity. And obviously that can go a long ways for your business too. So the in-stream advertising is something that we're really excited about. As I mentioned, that's by all means included in our media service. The other portion of paid advertising that we do for you through YouTube is through display advertising. So when people are watching, again, videos in your area, this is all geographically focused to your physical address. Your full-on video, so your full-length video, the 1.5-minute welcome video or 2-minute video, will show up as a recommended video on the sidebar of other videos that people are watching. So, you know, somebody could be watching whatever it is on YouTube, and for their next video to watch, through this ad, may click on your practice name and get to see the welcome video from there, from which they can obviously get to your website and learn more about the practice. So that's another form of advertising that we can get you in your local area on YouTube. Then, of course, and for me, I think this is one of the most important pieces, is the actual video on your website. The welcome video basically becomes the crown jewel of your site. We put it right up in the top, front and center, and this welcome video makes a huge difference in terms of conversions. So a conversion, to put it simply, would be, let's say you're getting 100 hits to your website per month, and those 100 hits are turning into 5 new clients per month for you. If that was the case, you'd have a 5% conversion rate on your website. It's very realistic to expect the conversion rate on your website to double when you've got an effective welcome video. It's grabbing those folks' attention rather than just reading through text and seeing a couple pictures. You've got a video that displays the personality of the office. You can show people what they can expect to walk into. So you're relieving that fear of the unknown, and it's making people much, much more likely to actually take that next step and request an appointment or call you to book an appointment. And this is not only for people that came over from an ad on YouTube, but also people who found you on a Google search, and also people who may have been referred directly to you. So they get referred by a friend of theirs. You know, maybe they're not so sure. They're still considering another vet in the neighborhood. This video does an excellent job of essentially selling you and your practice and your services to that potential new client. And it's really just the fact that this information is in other places throughout your website, but this is by far the most efficient means of conveying that information. So again, this is one of those things that we can obviously provide for you guys through that media service, or it's something we want to see all of our clients doing. So if you have the capability of putting together a video on your own, we will by all means coach you through that process and help you get it onto the website, which is, you can add video to your site for free with any of our basic starter packages. So having that video, it makes the website immensely more effective from a conversion standpoint, and then also from the Google standpoint. And that's what we talked about with the keywording and the title and the description, and the fact that, Google realizes that people like video. So when they see a website that has video versus a website that does not, that's a factor that's going to be in your favor by all means and help you get to the top of those search results. So let's see here. That essentially concludes the webinar for today. I do have a couple of questions here that I'm going to go ahead and get to now. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to type them into that contact box. If you've got to run, definitely remember to jot down this number here. That goes straight to our account development consultants department. So if you want to either talk about the media service, or if you want to get a one-on-one consultation as far as how the whole social media component or video component applies to you personally, with what you've got so far online and how it compares to your competitors and what kind of results you could expect, that would be the number to call. So as far as the questions go, this is from Valerie in Kansas City. My Facebook page doesn't have a number of likes at the top of it. So this is a pretty common occurrence, actually. Essentially what it sounds like has happened here, Valerie, is that you've created a Facebook page for your business that's actually a personal profile. So feel free to respond in the chat, but I would imagine that this Facebook page probably has some friends on it. So Facebook's got two main separate entities. You've got a profile or a fan page. So a profile is what people have personally. And actually, in order to create a fan page, you have to have a personal profile. But they are two separate entities. The fan page is meant for a business or an organization. And a fan page is where you're going to accumulate likes. Now, the biggest difference from a benefits perspective is that, in all honesty, a Facebook profile used for a business, you can still reach out to people, you can still keep your name in front of people and interact with them. The problem is that a Facebook profile is private. Google and the other search engines cannot view that profile. So you do not get any of the search engine benefits that you would be getting had you been using a Facebook fan page instead of a profile. So in the long run, you definitely want to be using that fan page, because the other thing that you want to keep in mind, and this is kind of hard to picture now, but it's very likely that the Facebook fan page, the Google Plus page, the Twitter, all of these social media entities that you have now are very likely to be the social media entities that you have 10 years from now. So the pages that you're beginning to build now, you'll be continually building 10 years from now. So starting it off on the right foot is very important from a long-run perspective. So, Valerie, if you need any other help with that, obviously feel free to call one of our account development consultants on that number there. And we'll take a look at what you've got and help you out with some strategies moving forward, whether it's having us do it for you or we can coach you as to how to do it on your own too. Next question comes from Mark in Boulder, Colorado. I uploaded a video to YouTube. How do I get it onto my website? Again, this is something we can help you out with. And this actually ties back into the fact that you don't want to just upload a video and have any sort of generic title and description on that video. While we're helping you get it onto the website, we want to make sure that the optimization of that video is dialed in. So having those keywords in the title and the description, uploading it to more than just YouTube, but some of the other major video providers online, and then also getting it onto your Facebook and your Google Plus and your Twitter, some of your other major directories. You basically want to get the best bang for your buck out of that video. And again, it's something that I see very commonly, that folks will have put a lot of time and energy into making a really nice video. But if nobody sees it, then, I mean, what's the point? So we can definitely help you make sure that you do get the maximum bang for your buck, so to speak, out of that video. Let's see here. Are there any other questions for today? I don't see anything else yet. Again, don't hesitate to give us a call on that number if you guys do have any additional questions, or if you want to go through this on a one-on-one basis, or if you've got interest in the services that we provide that cover all of these bases. We'd be happy to hear from you. Otherwise, thank you all very much for attending, and look out for our emails in the future for more webinars on all sorts of different topics. I know we'll be having something more focused on search engine optimization specifically coming up, as well as a bit of a tutorial on Google AdWords and pay-per-click. So look out for those invites, or feel free to call us directly. We can always do stuff like this one-on-one with you. That's exactly what the Account Development Consultants Department is for, our ADC department, we call it. Thank you again, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye now.